Hello, good morning if you're watching this, and welcome to this video whenever you're watching. Okay, so why I do these videos is really so you can start your day in a positive and intentional way. When I started doing morning practices and rituals, they changed my life, truly. And I am such a different person than I used to be. I'm actually in more peace and joy than I ever have been, really. And that's what it can do for you because you become more conscious. When you're consciously saying, I'm seeing the way my mind tends to go, but I'm choosing to be different, to act different, to feel different, to think different things, like to actually experience, like joyfully experience my life. And if there are things in my life where it's like, well, I'm noticing now when you become more conscious, I don't like that part of it, or this person doesn't fit in it anymore, then you can begin to make the changes. And you do it in a loving way, right? You do it in a loving way and you feel more at peace. And just the way you come from this loving energy to let people go who may not serve you anymore, who, take a different path in life and decide, oh, I feel that the way I used to be living just doesn't suit me anymore. And because we're all meant to change, to grow, to evolve. And I think a lot of people are bored because they're not changing. And they really know they may not have this conscious awareness they need to change, but I can tell you their soul and heart knows it needs to change. So maybe that's you. But good for you for being here. All right, the King of Cups is our card for today. The King of Cups from the Light Seers deck. Let's see what it says. And the saying is, my heart holds deep wisdom and love, and I use it to connect and lead. My heart holds deep wisdom and love, and I use it to connect and lead. So this is also a way we can have boundaries. This is the way we lead our life, right? My heart holds deep wisdom and love. Say that to yourself. Know it, feel it, be it, right? My heart holds deep wisdom and love. All of us can say that. And I use it to connect and to lead my life. It doesn't just mean other people's lives. We need to be the leader of our own lives first, right? So some of the message, find balance between your mind and your heart and practice outward displays of kindness, compassion, and love as a way to regulate your own inner peace. Now, I used to be someone who was angry a lot. I used to use the word hate a lot. I used to always look at outward situations and circumstances and be mad that they're not changing. And if they're the way they are, there's no way I can be happy. I used to be that way. I grew up that way. I was always like that way, thinking, oh, if only it was like this, then I could be happy. How can I be happy when it's raining? How can I be happy when it's snowing? How can I be happy when I'm living in a place that snows? I hate it here. I know that's, you know what? So I spent so much of my life in stress, in anger, in frustration, and not joy, peace, and love, right? When we really, really get to choose. Because now I know, and now after years of practice of this, I can get to a place where the circumstances in my life can be a certain way, and I can still find the peace, joy, and love inside, and still find and make wonderful experiencing, wonderful moments of joy throughout the day. Don't require any money. And that's what I mean, I've been practicing this for years, but in 2020, I really learned this in a big way and I embodied it, right? So we get to choose. It's really about we put our focus and where we nurture, like it says, choose to nurture positive emotions in your life. Choose to nurture positive things. Choose to focus on the positive things. Choose to focus on things you can celebrate about yourself, about your life. Right? Like there's always something to celebrate. I celebrate that I have been through some really hard times. Like I'm just saying this in general, right? I celebrate that all the wisdom I have gained throughout the years. I've celebrated that I've made it through all the challenges of my life. And I know now that I can make it through anything, right? I celebrate the milestones. I celebrate I used to do adventure races and I'd get medals for some of them. And so I celebrate that part of my life when I was really fit, healthy, and I loved what I did. And I was passionate about doing those outdoor sports, right? I celebrate that I had those experiences. I celebrate all the years I traveled and saw parts of the world that many people don't get to see, how grateful I am. So you see what I mean about where you put your focus and your thoughts. When you start to talk like that, you begin to feel those emotions of gratitude, of love, of joy. So really, you are in control of those emotions instead of letting the outside, because the outside doesn't have to change. We may want it to change, and you can change it, right? Like I used to believe that if I was happy, that means I was saying this was okay, and that then there would be no change. So bizarre. You can be okay with what's going on and still want to change it. And that's the things I talk about, right? All right, now the book I'm reading from is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's fabulous. If you don't know him, watch his videos. He's been interviewed, so all I have to do is go to YouTube and Google Dr. Joe Dispenza, and you will see so many of his interviews. And Dr. Bruce Lipton is fantastic too. Okay. When we try to regain, that's what I gotta give you what we're talking about. When you go to make a change in your life, we have been a certain way. Our personality is a certain way. Our habits are a certain way. The way we thoughts, the way we believe, the things we say, they're all a certain way. But when we want to make a change in our life, it requires us, just like I was talking about, right? How I talked about focusing on the joy, the gratitude, and the abundance in your life. We have different thoughts, which lead to different feelings, which lead to different actions. So you have to be conscious. Whoops, I'm thinking those old thoughts again. They're not going to get me something new. So I need to shift those old thoughts. Now, what new thoughts can I think instead, right? Put a new spin on it, a new perception. So what he's talking about is when we try to regain control of, our body's going back into the old habits and stuff. When we try to gain control, this is when the body signals the brain to begin talking us out of our conscious goals. Our internal chatter comes up with a battery of reasons why we should not attempt to do anything out of the ordinary, not break out of the habituated state of being what we're used to being. It will pick up all of our weaknesses, which it knows and fosters, and hurl them at us all at once, right? So it'd be like, oh, you can't do that. Don't be so silly. Oh my God, what if this happens? Like, don't you realize that you're too old to do this? Don't you realize it's too late? What if you end up like this? Oh my God, what if you end up poor, destitute, and on the street, and then you die? Like, what if you can't buy your next meal? Like all these things, none of them are true. None of them are true. They don't have to be true. For one, they're not true in the moment. No, because they're all what ifs. So what if you say, what if, oh my God, what if things turn out better and better all the time? What if my life in a year is astounding and so much better than it is right now? What if I end up switching to a job or a career or having my own business that brings me so much joy and so much fulfillment, right? What if? And we think in the positive instead of the negative, because when you go back to those negative thoughts, that ego trying to talk you out of doing something, then you're not going to make the change and you're going to stay the same. And that's when more frustration, more depression happens, more anxiousness, because the whole inner you, your body, your soul, and your heart and stuff wants something different, but you're so full of fear and you're not taking those chances. So then you have an inner conflict. You have a huge inner conflict. And that only is like confusion and inner conflict inside creates the same in your outside life. We create worst case scenarios in our minds so that we don't have to rise above those familiar feelings. Because when we try to break the internal chemical order, because feelings create chemicals within our bodies. So when we try to break the internal chemical order we have made, second nature, it feels normal to us. The body goes into chaos. That means your nervous system starts kind of freaking out. And that's when you feel really uncomfortable. The internal badgering feels nearly irresistible, and plenty of times we succumb. That's exactly what's going on. And it happens with little things, it happens with big changes, right? It can be like, I'm choosing to eat healthy. Next week, I'm going to positively eat better. You start eating better. I call it like, kind of like two parts of you, the one that wants to do what you want to do, and the one that's still there going, oh my God, I don't want to make changes. This really sucks. It's going to be hard. The angel devil kind of thing, right? So your nervous system will just go, oh my God, because it feels rocked. It's like something's changing. And our body, biologically, is so old that when it feels danger, when it senses danger, then it wants to take you away from the danger, to be safe again, to feel the peace and the calm. So the way, when you get used to your nervous system vibrating and being a certain way, it becomes normal, even though it's consistent stress. It actually feels normal. When you go beyond that, something's different. It feels weird. You feel anxious, you feel, and you don't know why. That's because you're not aware that's what's happening. So notice next time you're going to make a change, or let's say you're at a wedding this summer and you're like, no, I'm choosing to eat really healthy, but I think eat whatever you want at weddings and celebrations. Doesn't matter. But if that's really your choice and you're like, no, today I'm choosing this, then notice when you go to choose the healthy foods and those other foods are around you, notice how uncomfortable you feel. Notice the thoughts that start coming into your head. And you can say, I just need it. I just need it. I'm just craving it so bad. I gotta have it. Gotta have it. None of that is real true. That's just your body feeling the difference, feeling the inconsistency, because we become addicted to those chemicals. The emotions cause chemicals within our body. So let's say emotions of stress, anxiousness, or addiction to certain foods, right? All that's causing chemicals in the body. When we block that off, when we stop those things, our body goes, hold it. This is a whole different chemical mixture going on. Something's really different. Something's in danger. This is not right. This is not normal. Right? So that's what can tend to go on. So as you're going through your day, you can practice doing something different, and see how you feel. Make a commitment. Now I'm going to exercise, or I'm not going to drink, or I'm whatever, right? And just notice what comes up in a few days when you haven't done that. What are your feelings? And notice it and talk to yourself when it happens. Like, that's how I got away from having chocolate, peanut butter and chocolate. Like when I felt stressed, I would grab for those things. Is that when I went to grab for them, I'd go, oh, interesting. Here I am eating the chocolate and peanut butter because I'm stressed, because I'm feeling like I have no control of this aspect of my life. And I'm pushing my emotions down. I don't want to face them. And eating this gives me joy and makes my body feel really good in this moment. And that's what I want to do. I just want to feel good. So then I started saying, once you realize that and you're talking to yourself and you're saying those things and you're eating it, you'll go, oh, that's right. That's why I'm eating this. I'm eating it for those reasons. All right, so let's feel what's coming up. So I'm feeling out of control in my life. I'm sensing I'm feeling out of control and I'm pissed off. I don't want it to be like this. I don't want it to be like this. So when you give that inner problem a voice, let it be heard, understand it, talk to it, give it space, allow yourself to feel those feelings. You will notice over time, you won't go into those patterns of eating, and eating. Quick little tip there, but it works. Be patient with yourself, talk to yourself, be conscious, don't beat yourself up, don't get mad at yourself. Talk to yourself through it when you're in the process of doing something like that. All right, I hope that helps. Have an absolutely amazing day. And I'm still doing my 5-day, I've turned my 5-day abundance positivity morning audios into 7 days. You can go to dianamarchand.com, 5-day awaken to abundance, sign up, because when you sign up, you get a link and you will see all the audios. And you will always have access to those audios, well, for quite a while anyways, so you can listen to them at any time. Start your day, even before you get out of bed, with just positivity and changing your perception, just like I talked more about at the beginning of the video when I was doing the card thing, about you get to choose where your focus is, and that'll change your whole day. All right, have an absolutely amazing day. Bye.